right now, the first item that's really up is for the comprehensive plan to be changed. So we have this property here that's outlined, this large property, and it is suburban density residential. We have this red area here, which is commercial. The intent here is for this 5 acres for the comprehensive plan to be changed from residential to industrial. And then that would then allow for a rezone for this area, which is actually agricultural currently, to be changed to a B5 wholesale trade and warehousing district, which would then allow for certified survey map to split off this 5 acres and then allow for a conditional use permit on this property for concrete business. So with that being said, I'll let the applicant state your name and address, and you can just kind of run through what you're all planning on doing, how you're going to do it, and for the committee and be ready for any questions.
It is my address. My name is Brent Zerbel, owner of Zerbel Concrete. The address is 5216. They got flipped somehow on there instead of 5126, just to make a slight note of that.
Thank you.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. 5216, 366th Avenue, Burlington. We are looking, like Andy said, to rezone this 5 acre parcel or change the land use map first to allow it to go to industrial, which would suit the B5 commercial warehousing that we are looking to do to have a contractor's yard for our concrete business. It's not a ready mix company. It's we do residential foundations and flat work. So it would just be two buildings on the property with pavement and then, water runoff. There's some outside storage as well that we would need for our forms and our rebar, things that couldn't fit inside, but all of our vehicles essentially would be stored inside. 2 12,000 square foot buildings, 18-foot sidewall, ag looking buildings, pole barn style buildings with a berm and buffer surrounding it with 4-foot evergreens on top of a 2 to 3 foot tall berm that will surround the property as well.
Do you have any questions? Is there anyone wishing to speak for the petition? Anyone wishing to speak for the petition? Anyone wishing to speak against the petition? Anyone wishing to speak against the petition? We're taking the plan first. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But so how did the township vote?
Yeah, so it says go before the town. It was just last night that it went before, and it was a motion was made to approve it and pass unanimously.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I will take a motion to approve the comprehensive plan.
So move. Second.
All right. Motion by Supervisor Gertson and second by Supervisor Meadows. This is a roll call vote. Jennifer, what do you say? Aye. Aye. All right. Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously.
Right. And I do have the site plan. I know everyone has it as well, but if we have to pull it up, I do have it ready to go. If we need to look at that, I know that applicant did kind of mention some of the buildings in the site plan. But in any case, with the comp plan being changed, it does allow for the rezone to occur because the rezone now would be compliant with the comp plan. So we have a Catherine H. Kirkman, Irrevocable Income Only Trust, 8126 203rd Avenue, Unit 108B, Bristol, Wisconsin, 53104. Brent, owner Brent Zerbel, 5216. 366th Avenue, Burlington, Wisconsin, 53105. Agent, request a rezoning from A1 Agricultural Preservation District to A1 Agricultural Preservation District and E5 Wholesale Trade and Warehousing District on tax parcel number 954-219-323-0205 in the town of Wheatland. And so this was the map for this, that then now this area right here would qualify for this zoning change for the concrete business.
Anyone wishing to speak for the petition? Anyone wishing to speak for the petition? Anyone wishing to speak against the petition? Anyone wishing to speak against the petition? So I should ask the committee if they have any questions, but I'm assuming they did not. Right? Entertain a motion.
Move to approve. Second.
We have a motion to approve made by Supervisor Meadows and second by Supervisor Gertson. Youth and governance? Aye. Else?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? And Supervisor Carroll is with us. All right,
Okay, item number 4 is Catherine H. Kirkman, irrevocable income loan trust, 8126 203rd Avenue, unit 108 of E, Bristol, Wisconsin, 53104, owner, Brent Zerbo, 5216 366th Avenue, Burlington, Wisconsin, 53105, agent, requesting a certified survey map on tax parcel number 954-219-3230205, located in the town of Wheatland. And so I showed you this is a fairly simplistic CSM that just split off the 5 acres. We can see the boring holes for seeding and septic requirements. And we do have a list of conditions that we would say that would be approved subject to those conditions. It's a number of things that have to be changed in the CSM. So it's in a reportable form that we can have the chair sign and then record.
any questions? Anyone wishing to speak for the petition? Anyone wishing to speak for the petition? Anyone wishing to speak against the petition? Anyone wishing to speak against the petition?
Motion to approve the certified survey map with the changes or conditions stated.
Second. We have a motion by Supervisor Decker and a second by Supervisor Robinson. Discussion. Youth and governance? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously.
So last on this,
Oh, I forgot to ask. What did we couldn't say?
yeah, and you can see, so they met and they approved all these items at the same time. So we're covered with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was unanimous on all 4 of these items. But now we have a conditional use permit, so having a concrete business in the B5 is an automatic conditional use permit, and so we have a series of conditions. They were sent to you today, so you should have those, and if you have any questions, you can let us know. But we have a Catherine H. Kirkman, irrevocable income only trust, 8126 203rd Avenue, unit 108B, Bristol, Wisconsin, 53104, owner, Brent Zerbo, 5216 366th Avenue, Burlington, Wisconsin, 53105, agent, requesting conditional use permit to allow construction contractors business with outside storage in the B5 wholesale trade and warehousing district on tax parcel 954-219-323-025 in the town of Wheatland. So we have a series of conditions on this. These conditions are actually pretty straightforward for a contractor's yard. Because all these are pretty much the same with activities that are occurring, equipment and or sometimes materials that are stored outside. And so we do have the site plan, which again, I can pull up if we need to. And so we have the conditions before you. They were sent to the applicant. And did you have any questions at all?
No, pretty straightforward.
Okay.
All right. Any questions? Is there anyone wishing to speak for the petition? Anyone wishing to speak for the petition? Anyone wishing to speak against the petition? Anyone wishing to speak against the petition? Entertaining motion.
I make a motion to approve the conditional use permit with the conditions stated.
Second.
We have a motion by Supervisor Decker and a second by Supervisor Gertson. Any discussion? Youth and governance? Aye. Any?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously.
All right, thank you so much. I mean, one thing I'll have to say is that it's not often that we have a request come before the committee at the county level and the town level that everyone was so supportive of it. It just seemed to be exactly the right place for everything to occur. And so it seemed like it kind of was easy tonight, but the legwork was done up front. And there was questions and things that we asked for and made it so it could go well. Now, all these items, except for the CSM and the CUP, will go before the county board next week. You do not need to attend that. The chair will present that before that board. Those items will then need to be approved, and then the county executive will need to sign them. Once we get to that point, then we'll let you know that with a letter, as well as the conditions which you'll sign tonight. We'll have that, and then your certified survey map, those conditions were probably already sent to your surveyor.
I would imagine it's what Mark Melgard had said, and I know, looks like Luke's probably in contact with Rampart, so.
Correct, yeah, as soon as they make all those corrections and they come to us and we can verify, then we're ready for it to be signed
Okay.
and recorded.
Perfect.
All right, thanks so
Thank
much.
you all. I appreciate it very, very much.
Good luck.
So then we can move to item number 6, which is Geneva 12400 Wilmot LLC, 1501 East Wisconsin Street, Belleville, Wisconsin, 53105. And, A. Neal, 150 Holy Hill Road, Twin Lakes, Wisconsin, 53181. Agent requested amendment to the adopted land use plan map for Kenosha County, 2035, map 65 of the comprehensive plan from commercial and non-farm wetland to industrial and non-farm wetland on tax parcel numbers 604-119-363-0155 and 0200 in the town of Randall. And so we have the map. So this is a comp plan change and then an associated rezone. I'll just show you both so that it all kind of may make sense and then let the applicant explain everything. So we have this area here in the town of Randall, which is all been shown to be commercial. And the use of the property that was there, that met the commercial use in regards to also the zoning, which is, B5, which was for warehouse and distribution. The request is for a change in the comprehensive plan to industrial and then for a rezone to M1 limited manufacturing to then be able to do manufacturing in this building along with warehousing and distribution. So applicants here, so you can state your name and address and just kind of run through why you're going through this, how this came about, and be ready for any questions.
Sure. Tim Neal, 12,400 Fox River Road, Wilmot. How we came about this was, we have been leasing space from Geneva 10, G10 now, since 2021, using our portion of the building, for warehousing and distribution of finished goods. We were acquired at the end of 21. Company that acquired us, Allstate Industries out of Des Moines, Iowa, had a small thermoforming operation in Elkhart, Indiana. Their lease came up at the end of 22. They had 3 thermoforming machines, 2 CNC trimmers. Needed a space to put them. I approached Geneva 10. They said we could move them into the facility and manufacture out of the facility. That's how it all started. Geneva 10, their portion of the building, one of the other tenants had a fire in the building. Fire inspector going through the entire facility noticed that we had equipment in the building. That's what brought this entire situation to light. We are expanding in Twin Lakes. We've outgrown our space there. And that's why we're doing the warehousing and distribution, but we're also looking to add additional manufacturing in this space. We've got currently working on a lease agreement with Geneva 10. Currently we occupy 173,000 square feet. We will be occupying the entire facility a year from now, May 1st of 26. So that we've got room to expand and continue to grow our operation.
Randy, do you have any questions?
Thank you. Chair, through the chair to Andy, yesterday we requested an email and some information. Can you discuss that in our open session here?
Yes, yeah, so I did send an email to Ms. Neal just in regards to some of the questions. So if you can maybe just go over some of those that I sent in that email.
Sure. First of all, we don't injection mold, so we don't melt plastic. We are custom thermoformers, so we heat plastic up till it's pliable, and then we form it over mold using vacuum or air pressure. So we are not melting plastic. As far as environmental concerns, we're an ISO 14001 certified company. There are no permits required for thermoforming. As far as air, there are no air pollution hazards or anything like that. In regards to the The other items, over the other items on the.
I think in regards to fire code inspections. and
Fire code.
Any other permits that you might need, state or locally.
We have fire inspections every 6 months. They walk through. Geneva 10 just upgraded the entire sprinkler system throughout the entire facility. 6 months ago.
Yeah, about that.
It's all up to code. Past inspections they've been through. We've seen our equipment there as well.
Did that cover everything that we
Was
wanted?
there anything else in the email? I think those were the,
I didn't have anything else, yeah.
we wanted to know, was there any state approval required, which I think the answer is no, if I understand that right. We wanted to know about the fire codes, which we got an answer to. But that's what I'm remembering, unless anyone else on the committee had any more thoughts, but I think that covers my question, so I yield. Thank you.
Any other questions?
So this is related to the comprehensive plan? Or the,
Are you asking me?
yeah, because right now,
Yeah,
we're just on the comp plan, right? So did I assume that the town reviewed this and approved it? or-
We were gonna get to that.
Okay. And if they had any questions or
Yeah.
concerns about it?
So I'll just let you know, so when the fire occurred and then it kind of started working its way through different offices, we ended up having a meeting with the town and Mr. Neal and just talking out, where things are at, what would need to be done. So the town's been all involved since the beginning on this, but they did meet on this comp plan and the rezone on April 14th, 2025. A motion was made to approve and it passed unanimously.
Okay.
I think they had indicated they were just happy for that building to continue with good use. And they had some concerns that with the manufacturing of what that could happen in there, but with the manufacturing that would be permitted in there, I mean, it's gonna be just like any other manufacturing, and if it was gonna be something that was gonna be a little heavier, then it would end up getting, there's state air issues that would have to be addressed if those types of things came into being. So there should be, but it is limited manufacturing. It's not heavy manufacturing. And so that was a concern the town had, and they were okay with that.
My question is, was the fire department aware that you were doing this, industrial process at this facility?
I can't,
Because, the reason I ask this is because when the fire department showed up, was it a surprise to them that this,
I was on site with them. I received notice right away that there was a fire there as well. I was on site with them and walked through the building with them.
I know they have certain, they have certain procedures based on what they perceive is going on in the building, right? The fire department or the sheriff's department for that matter. And my question is, were they informed that you had this?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
Point of clarification. So earlier you said that when there was the fire and the fire department came in, then they discovered that this was happening and that's what caused this whole process to start. His question was the fire department aware that you were doing manufacturing like this? And your answer was yes. That seems to be in conflict with each other. If they were aware before, why was the permitting not allowed? If they weren't aware before, the concern is it is for the safety of our first responders that we make sure that everyone is always aware of what is going on. And that's kind of why we're trying to figure out what's happening in the order.
First, Ryan Lauterman, 2154 Blue Heron Drive, Delvin, Wisconsin. I represent Geneva 12400, the building owner. The fire department, we have fire inspectors that come through every 6 months. So everything in the building as far as fire safety and what we're doing was fine. What they weren't aware of was the zoning not being industrial. That was what was discovered at the time of the fire, the zoning issue. The fire systems and the safety is all fine and inspected. We have the sprinkler systems tested and inspected monthly, quarterly, yearly. that system, and we, like Tim said, we just upgraded the sprinkler system to be over certified for the use of the building.
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Thanks.
So to Andy then, what can we do systemically here so that we don't have this kind of a problem in other situations? If we have fire going in and inspecting, should there not be like a spot on the inspection that says what the zoning is? Or, should there be some checking? I'm just kind of trying to say, like, we're kind of, in other situations, we are kind of going through the county and cleaning up CUPs and licensees who didn't have this, but they've been doing this for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. And it seems like this is kind of another situation. What can we do as we're doing these inspections to have this not happen?
It's a very good question. It's something that we've been working on for about 5 years with all the communities to try to tie fire inspection with building inspection and with zoning. So once building and zoning, like we're doing in some of our communities together, that helps solve that. The problem that we're having is that when with fire or building not part of like our efforts, part of the county, it's been difficult to try to blend those together, but we've been actually working on it and having discussions.
Go.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
So I know Mr. Neal, his business, Allied Plastics, they've been in Twin Lakes the village of Twin Lakes for 30 years?
30 years of stuff.
Yeah, I was just gonna say 1995 is what I was remembering. So, and they've expanded their building probably like 5 or 6 times. And they've grown from thermoforming to now they actually produce their own sheets of plastic. So they've got 4 silos added, just approved another 2 going up here pretty soon. So I was curious if you were planning on doing the similar process in this.
No, just thermoforming and CNC trimming in assembly
Okay.
work.
All right. So, and they've, what, you have warehouse space over in Genoa City as well?
Correct.
You're trying to consolidate it here, or is this?
Genoa
expansion
City,
from that?
Richmond, and
Right,
we're
Right.
basically consolidating
right.
everything in a Wilmot building.
So as far as, they're one of the major economic drivers in the western end of the county. And so it's, it's great to see that businesses continuing to do well and grow and, use this building and other available warehouse space within the area. So it's good to keep them going.
Right.
So, between them and 5 Star, I think they're probably the major players in western Kenosha County and have done so without the influence of the, CABA, well, maybe a little bit of CABA would help, but, it's not the major influence that's around the interstate. So it's been, from my perspective, knowing, Mr. Neal and the business for 30 years, I feel like this is very good use of the building, supporting of the zoning and the comprehensive plan change.
Any further discussion? And you told us at the town, so yeah, okay. Anyone wishing to speak for the petition? Anyone wishing to speak for the petition? Anyone wishing to speak against the petition?
Yeah, my name's Jim Burnitz. I own the 60 acres across the street to the south from the,
Can you just state your address as well, where you,
where that exactly is?
or just your name you stated?
If they call it Zero Fax, Road, their Faxway Road, but,
It'd be your mailing address that we want to know.
oh, my home address.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at 28 West, 240 Indian Knoll Trail, West Chicago, Illinois. Okay. Yeah, I recently bought it. We plan on, it's residential, we plan on having our family move there. We're all heading up from Illinois and so forth. I have 4 children. We're gonna split the thing up. And I just had a couple concerns. I'm not trying to stop production or, but you answered a couple of my questions as far as it was Allied Plastics and backing this and so forth. And you said there wouldn't be any airborne pollutants or anything like that, right? There's nothing that heavy. I worked at a lot of those type of places and I know how that melting plastic can really get, you know, the wind's right. Yeah, the limited manufacturing concerned me a little bit. Is there a noise effect with this? I mean, is there a lot of like stamping machines?
No.
Nothing that makes noise. It's not a 24-hour operation or anything.
It is.
It's a 24-hour operation. So just a little, but they don't really create any pounding. There's no stamping machines, you know?
No,
Yeah,
and truck traffic will not be 24 hours. That'll be-
Okay.
Right.
okay. So nothing like that. No effect to our groundwater. Of course, we have wells across the street, you know, and no effect. Okay. If there was ever an effect, would we have any recourse? I'm kind of asking the board on that one. I mean,
Well, I mean, I guess.
I want to see progress and so forth, but, you know, I mean, geez, what happens if, you know, my property's polluted, or I can't breathe on it, the groundwater's.
Just for your knowledge,
Yeah.
the water that we use.
Yeah.
It's non-contact cooling water, so we
Okay.
literally bring
I was an
water.
HVAC man, I know exactly where
We
you're
heat the
talking
flows
about.
with it and then we
Mhm.
discharge it.
Okay, it's never in contact with the chemicals or the plastics. I got you. Okay, I think I'm just about there. Are you taking down the house that's on that property or?
I'll let Ryan speak to that.
I was kind of a little bit, and I'm like, are they taking down the house? Are they manufacturing in the house? Cause I'm looking at the manufacturing zoning area and I'm like, it's only a house on that. You know,
Yeah, so in regards to the house is not conforming. I don't know, and you can speak to exactly what their uses are. The change of the zoning is occurring, but the use of the house can continue as how they would want it to be a house. The use of the building for Allied Plastics is gonna be the building, not the house.
Oh, it's a building, so that little piece that was sent to me as far as in addition to the property has nothing to do with the manufacturing. The manufacturing will be in the main building over there.
Part of our
But-
lease that we're working through
Yeah.
right now, that parcel is going, they just had it resurveyed. They will be going to try to have, rezoned as residential.
Oh, they would then, and they just sell the house, as it as a house.
Right.
And no effect to the ponds I saw around there, okay? I think that's just about Chanceberry manufacturing. Oh, we do beekeeping though, but I got a lot of hives going. I hope they're not high on plastic or anything. Well, I hope they're coming back flying, yeah, so.
Did you have any other concerns at
No,
all?
I think that's about it. I
All right.
appreciate your time and, yeah, just had some concerns as a neighbor. I'm there. Yep, you're my new neighbor. Okay, thanks. Thanks, everybody in the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? I entertain
Motion
motion.
to approve the conditional use permit with the conditions as stated.
Second.
This is the comprehensive plan.
Oh, sorry,
Oh,
I'm looking at this.
Second.
A motion to approve the comp plan.
I
Sorry. That.
We have a motion from Supervisor Decker with a second from Supervisor, thank you. Supervisor Bertson, it is roll call. Aye. Jennifer?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, unanimously approved.
all right, then we can move to item number 7 with the Geneva 12400 Wilmot LLC, 1501 East Wisconsin Street, Delta, Wisconsin, 53115, owner Timothy A. Neal, 150 Holy Hill Road, Twin Lakes, Wisconsin, 53181, agent. Request a rezoning from B5 wholesale trade and warehousing to M1 limited manufacturing and C1 Lowland Resource Conservancy on tax parcel number 604-119-363-015 and 5 and 0200 located in the town of Randall. And you saw the map for that. And this is the map here to rezone all of this property to the M1.
All right. Any questions? Anyone wishing to speak for the petition? Anyone wishing to speak for the petition? Anyone wishing to speak against the petition? Anyone wishing to speak against the petition? What did the town say?
The town had met on that same meeting. A motion was made to approve and it passed unanimously.
Motion to approve the rezoning.
Second.
All right, we have a motion from Supervisor Decker with a second from Supervisor Robinson. Any discussion? Needs and governance?
Aye.
Ready?
Aye.
Opposed? I mean, motion is carried.
All right, and if you heard kind of what I said with the other applicant is that these two items will go before the county board. The chair will present. There's no need for you to attend that meeting. And then after that, the county exec signs and a letter will go out to you. And then at that point, it'll all be. And I think the one thing that you'll still be needing to work with Mark on is just the occupancy, the certificate of compliance. And then we had talked about things with storage, parking and all that, and we'll work through that process.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
all right, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you for the kind word, Darren.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, you've been a good steward of the business in the village of Hempstead, so.
Appreciate that.
Right.
Everybody. Will, you're up. Are you plugging in, Will?
I can, yeah.
I didn't realize you had hard copies, so it's okay.
It's good for me, there's some clarity that are to be able to be clean, and you have to be able to tell which medication was happening.
Now the new laptop is ready.
I'm gonna give it.
Hello, everyone. It's good to see you. And this could be on the positive youth development indicator in Ocean County. I wanted to warn you the meeting, otherwise it's going to be solved. I'll just pick up the audio. And it's fine. You're comfortable. Yeah, no.
There two pages.
No, this is
The same.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
Yes, so this was prepared, by the, Amanda Stevenson. She shared it with me, last Friday. So, this is an update on gig attendance. I want to recommend that all of you be recognized for their service this year. We had discussed how some of them were missing their committee meetings. They weren't meeting the 60% thresholds. You guys made exceptions that if they attended other committee meetings, they would be able to be recognized. So the youth who had not quite met the 60% threshold were JJ, Barsha, Melanie, John, Charlotte, Addie, Garner,
Excuse me,
and
could you do last name, because we're following.
Yeah.
Yes, we are
yes,
only seeing last names, thank you.
my apologies. JJ Castro, Arsha Sitamaraju, Melanie Georgianowski, Don Blanky, Charlotte Sunday, Addie Lenz, Garner Williams, and Jacob Weidman were the 8 youth who had attendance concerns. I would say that JJ Castro, Harsha Sitamaraju, Melanie Jarzembowski, Don Klenke, and Charlotte Sunday all made efforts to get up to the 60% threshold. So
You said there are 8?
yeah,
Saying Charlotte, oh, sorry.
yeah.
Would you, I'm sorry. Did
Yeah.
everyone else get the 8? Okay, say them again, please.
Okay. JJ Castro, Arsha Sitamaraju, Melanie Jarzembowski, Don Clinton, Charlotte Sunday, Addie Lenz,
Eddie Lenz, you said,
yeah,
introduce her in law.
yeah, yes. Garner Williams, David Whiteman. Thank you. Yes, so, I have notes here, Charlotte is planning on attending.
Last name, please.
Sunday, my apologies. Sunday is planning on attending the finance and administration meeting, so, that would keep her over the 60% if she attends tomorrow. Jacob is also planning on attending that, and that would, Jacob Weidman. I refer to them on a Thursday basis. Jacob Weidman is planning on attending the finance and administration meeting, so he would meet that requirement.
He's not on that committee.
No, but the exception you guys gave,
That's the only committee left meeting.
yeah,
So we're meeting.
at the end of the month, after the 20th?
No, Public Works is meeting on the 19th.
Okay,
May 19th.
I can also refer him to go to that one then, prioritize that one instead of the finance.
Who's assigned?
You said Sunday,
She serves on the finance.
she's only attended 0.38, which is actually 38%.
That's a court,
Going to one meeting won't bring her up to 60.
well, these percentages were prepared by Amanda, but, at our last meeting, we discussed how only one meeting a month would count towards their attendance, so this is.
Oh, that's because of, okay, that's because of the
Yeah.
budget. Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, and I did not delete those.
Okay, gotcha.
Prior, so I would not refer to these numbers,
Gotcha.
for this process.
Although, yeah, thanks, Ernie, because I saw the same thing. I was like, my math skills aren't that good, but that doesn't seem right.
Yes, okay,
Gotcha.
yeah, I can go by committee then, maybe?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Great, yeah, so Charlotte Sunday, I recommend to be recognized if she attends her meeting tomorrow. She's also attended her county board requirement. I recommend Sasha, she has
Last name, please.
Stronzik, Sasha Stronzik in the finance.
Yeah, but she wouldn't want to be using.
She wasn't,
Right.
JJ Castro, I recommend, to be appointed. He, was originally appointed to the executive committee, but he's attended, 2 additional county board meetings over his, term this year. So I think that sufficiently, gets him up to 7, which would put him over 60%, yeah. Olivia wasn't a concern, Parish Aksa Saj Quadri also was not an attendance concern. Harsha Sita Maraju, he was originally appointed to the executive committee. He has attended an executive committee meeting on July 25th. He's also attended the PDEC meeting back in December when he presented the GIG handbook changes. And he was also present for the first night of GIG interviews on March 25th. So considering these 3 meetings, he's above 60%. He also had extenuating family circumstances where he left the country for several weeks. So I think in recognition of his executive committee appointment and his participation in some PDEC activities, I recommend him to be appointed, and in consideration of the extenuating family circumstances, I think that the county board one requirement should be waived essentially for him and due to that.
Is he still out of the country?
From what I understand, his flight returned on the 23rd. He said he would do his best to make the county board meeting. But yeah.
Returns, returned.
Returned on April 23rd. Yeah. Ariana Keeler and Juliana and you were removed from their committees, from you guys. for attendance, Addie Lenz. She has, attended 7 meetings out of 12, so, she's very close to the 60% threshold. She's at about 58.33%. I recommend her to be recognized for her service. She did not attend a county board meeting. I was on vacation these past few weeks, 2 weeks, and it seems like they called my office phone, but I was not able to get into contact because I wasn't in the office. But yeah, recommend her to be recognized.
So the question, so she is not gonna be able to get over that 60% even with any future meetings, is that correct?
Not her committee, but she could attend. She could attend another one. I mean, if somebody else.
If she can attend another meeting, I'd be okay.
Did she attend the county board meeting last week?
From the records here, no, she did not.
Did you tell her she needed to?
Yes, I communicated to all EAG representatives their action plans, even if they were in good standing, on April 17th. So, and I followed up with youth who did not reply to me on May 1st.
What was her response? Or did she not respond?
She said, sorry, it's right here. She said, she acknowledged on 418 that she'll be at the Judiciary and Law Committee meeting and the county board meeting.
She didn't go to.
Yeah.
Was Supervisor Brookhouse, do you know, was she at the Judiciary and Law, last Judiciary and Law meeting?
She was not.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think just Melanie was, right?
Who was her mentor?
Judiciary and Law. I think it was Supervisor Mercy.
Go on and then.
Melanie Dorzbowski. She's also attended 7 out of 12 meetings. She attended the last one.
She attended the last 2 county board meetings also, I see.
Yes, so
It looks like she's got 8. You say the numbers there don't match what you're saying. Yeah.
she attended 2 October meetings. So in between her October meeting and attending an additional county board meeting, I think that demonstrates commitment to the program and fulfilling her responsibilities. I recommend her to be recognized for her service. Next is John Blenke in the legislative. As you can see, he only attended 2 out of 5 meetings, but he attended the executive committee on September 17th, PDEC on December 11th, and a judiciary and law meeting on February 25th. So those 3 meetings, based on your guys' exception, meets the requirements to be recognized for service.
And 2 county board meetings.
Yes, and 2 county board meetings. Okay, Claire Cook, she's not an attendance concern, has attended several county board meetings. Next, Mackenzie Nauer, not an attendance concern. Recommend her to be recognized for her service. Jennifer Crescent, also not an attendance concern. Recommend her to be appointed.
In other words, we get the best one assigned to this committee. Right.
Yes.
Well, that's because we're committee's boss.
We're the
Yeah.
best. Gee,
I think she did miss a county board meeting though.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
You should have gone to the last one. It was like 15 minutes.
did intend to. Oh, boy.
Womp womp. I still recommend Jennifer. Jacob Wiseman, he stepped up following the email. He attended the Public Works, the last meeting, and he went to a county board meeting. And he was committed to going to an additional committee meeting, but since there's a public works meeting scheduled, before the 20th, I'll tell him to prioritize that. Yes, it has to go to that. I'll let him know that. And then Gardner, I also recommend, but I have not heard back from him.
Gardner Williams?
Yes, Gardner Williams.
He's really.
He's really low. Why do you recommend?
Because she's a soft touch.
Sorry.
I wouldn't recommend it. He hasn't
No.
been to how many public works meetings in a row?
Yeah, no.
Has he communicated with you?
Oh, no, it has not.
Then no.
No.
Yeah, I would say no.
I would say that his personal emails that like bounces back to me, but it seems to be going through his school email, but I'm not sure if there's what school restrictions there are, because I know the administration does that.
There's none.
For KUSD at least, like with any of,
Yeah, I've also gotten all,
I've gotten every single.
like
email.
governmental.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get all.
I've got every Kenosha County.
He goes to Shoreland Lutheran. I know I went to a private high school and we did not have access to our emails, so.
But with all due respect, that's part of being part of the program. That's part of the commitment, and it's part of being a young adult is making sure that you are communicating and you are following through. And, you know, there obviously was some there wasn't some communicate. I mean, literally has not been to any board meetings since the very first one, like that
Yeah.
is, no. I just can't
Yeah.
support it.
Yeah.
I agree.
With the excused absences, that indicates he's been communicating his absences, right?
That doesn't mean it gives us a pass for not showing up more often.
Yeah.
Which also means he's communicating that I can't come. But that's not giving a reason, yeah.
You're still absent. The rules aren't excused absence versus non-excused. It's attendance.
Okay, yes, so that's, the attendance for the end of the year.
Can we go back to Lens, please?
Yes, and
So for Harsha, I would absolutely say I would say he deserves to be recognized and he needs to be encouraged to show up at,
If you can,
well, I guess the next board meeting is the board meeting, right? So it doesn't really matter.
come to the reception.
We're gonna make him work twice as hard. But no, I would agree with Harsha. I would agree with, John Klenke. Some of these are just because I recognize, like I know who they are because they showed up here or whatever. Weidman, is he look real young? Yeah, okay, so I remember saying something at the board meeting. Not that that's not that that's any sort of an endorsement, I just remember saying it. So back to Lens.
and JJ's good to go as well.
Oh, yeah. Anyone who was in the parade with me gets a pass.
No.
Anyone who was in the parade with me doesn't really need a pass, with the exception of JJ, I think, so no, we're all good there.
But he's gonna attend meetings. So.
Yeah. Lens.
Lens was the one that I'm on the fence about.
Right, I'm on the fence there too.
Yeah.
I mean, she's close, but
So Len's close, but again, she hasn't been at a county board meeting once since May. Like, that's,
Oh, yeah, okay. So what's?
and isn't she the one who said that she was gonna go to a couple things and then didn't?
Mhm.
And then she said she can't attend the end of the year ceremony?
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what's up there.
Oh,
Doesn't seem like it's a priority.
it's not you.
Well,
Yes, it says,
do a conference track meet.
yeah. It says she'll be at the judiciary and law meeting, committee meeting and the county board.
Which she wasn't.
Which she wasn't.
But I cannot attend the indecent ceremony.
So she has no way to get over that 60%.
She said she'd be at judiciary law and she said she'd be at the county board and she didn't come to either one. And she didn't communicate.
What she did about, she's excused. On
Yeah,
judiciary law.
he also tried to call me, but like I said, I was out of the office, so I was not able to receive that message till I got back on Tuesday.
Did she communicate with her mentor?
Who's the mentor?
Judiciary law is also my sister.
All right, so I guess because Juniper didn't attend the meeting, we really can't take into consideration that board meeting aspect, right? Go ahead.
What's Juniper's record as far as?
No, I'm saying we can't
The
say.
difference is, she said she was gonna attend and she didn't.
I also will say, I did mean to attend.
So I think you respond to Camille and say that you were going to attend that board meeting.
I said I intended to.
Okay.
Sorry, that is.
So let's
that was
use
my-
Juniper as the example. Juniper, digging yourself. I'm not.
But Juniper did 75%.
No, I know it, and that's exactly what I'm saying. So we're not kicking Juniper out because she missed a board meeting. So we can't take that into consideration for Leslie, whose first name I can't remember. I'm not trying to be rude. It's okay. Addie.
Yeah,
However,
she is super close. She's at like 58%. Like,
however, she's at 58%. So that's really what the distinction is. She's at 58%. She has, personally, I'm leaning towards no, because she hasn't made an effort to attend different meetings. She hasn't made an effort to attend a board meeting where that would have, like, 2 board meetings would have put her over. So that's where I'm at, but.
I'm with you because, again, if we're gonna use Juniper as an example, sorry about that. What we have here, the PDEC meetings don't include today, and she's here today, so that bumps her percentage up even higher. And so, you know, she's not 75%, it's more. And again, the difference is stark. The numbers are very different. And you're looking at this at least 25% difference.
Well, the minimum is 60%. I also want to just reiterate that you guys did make an exception if they attend other committee meetings that could count. So it sounds like there's 2 in between now and the county board meeting.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
If she doesn't attend those, I think that'd be okay.
If she attends one more meeting, one judiciary and law or public works, it goes to 2, but is that what this says?
Maybe a finance.
She needs,
Yeah.
It also sounds like there's a legislative.
There's also a legislative on Tuesday.
So she need to attend 2,
because of the.
one
board.
for the committee and one
And
more
one
to make up for
board.
the board meetings.
No, because she's way over. She's way over.
But that's not fair. If she's way over for committee meetings, she's not even at par for, I'm sorry, Juniper, you're right. So I would say, no, we're trying to get to that 60%.
Community, right.
Yeah,
Oh,
because,
committee meetings.
because
Okay,
also,
I get it.
Harsha doesn't have a board meeting, Olivia doesn't have a board meeting.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Well, Olivia's on.
Olivia,
Sorry.
11:30.
So she attends,
Right.
so if Len's attends
Yeah,
one
she
more
does.
committee meeting, she'll be over 60%.
Healer.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's
Either-
been-
Whatever. I'm off the line. It's okay. But,
So-
okay, so you guys gotta understand what I'm saying.
Tell her she needs to attend at least 2 committee meetings before Tuesday.
One. And Jimmy, it's 60.
I think
One
if
would
it's,
put her at 68.
so yeah, just one, I think.
One will get her over 60.
Yeah, she'll be at 61.5.
But she hasn't attended any county board meetings.
Right.
And we know Juniper hasn't, but she's also attended over 70% of the meetings.
She's attended 80.
Something like that. Whatever. I don't want to, whatever.
No contraception and the board meeting or.
No.
Correct.
So 2 or 1?
I say one.
I say one as well.
What commission?
Yeah.
Yeah. I asked a generic question to these two. How well did you understand the requirements at the beginning of this process for attendance? Was it pretty clear?
It
to
was
you?
very clear.
It was?
Yeah. It was like.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear.
They're sitting like, we've been at every meeting. Are you kidding?
It's
Somebody's
in
sitting
there
there.
somewhere. Oh, it's in there.
It's
right,
either
right.
Gen Zs are huge procrastinators. And I'll tell you that schooling does not help because they let them turn in assignments late all the time with no repercussion.
I want school.
And they're gonna have a harsh reality when they hit the real world, and have a real
Absolutely.
job. I know this as a mother of 2 Gen Zers.
There's a full section about operating guidelines, and the most of it is attendance. The things are attendance, communication, meetings, and then 2 other items. So there's an entire section about what you are required to do.
About it too.
And she's,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
she talked about it too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that just makes the lack of communication and the lack of showing up, there's really not, there's not a good excuse. They've had plenty of opportunity, I don't know.
I'm just gonna say this, but, good mentors are key in this program.
That's why
Which we learned this term right here.
That's right.
Which may be another thing to consider for this go around.
Right.
Right,
Because I think that we
so
have
maybe
both.
why 1 and then she's at 62% and we just say, okay, it was the year, we'll work on it for next term.
I would say that is last year, because one meeting, give her the choice of every meeting possible.
The easy ones, the legislative committee should go into the one before,
Well, no, she can't go.
She can't just track. Yeah, so, yeah.
okay, yeah,
The,
I agree.
Sorry.
One meeting,
No,
finance
some-
administration.
this meeting is here, so I don't know where she lives. Well, finance is downtown, so.
Sorry.
This week.
Program will follow.
I have an email.
Okay.
So I've never.
So Garth,
Mine too.
Me too, I
And
haven't.
back.
No.
This does not bode well.
And it's just
I've
like,
already sent emails to my 2 new, because I'm gonna be mentoring for human services. I sent out my emails. Welcome, I'm your mentor. Here's the happy news. This is what we're gonna do. And I got 0 response. Like, well, this is not gonna bode well. We're gonna have fun at the reception.
Same year I heard back, not a thanks.
No, it's not. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to meeting you. Not, I can't wait to hear about this. It's
Oh my
not gonna be.
okay, outstanding.
That's what I would-
I honestly, I didn't have email at their age.
That would have been worse than anything we're talking
I
about.
didn't have email at
You
their
two did
age.
great, sure.
I find that when working with you, I often think you're like automated, you know, like it's not like an
Yeah.
actual person. Like, I actually, I
it is true. And that's because a lot of like, when you're doing job interviews, they use AI for all of those emails.
Yeah, or it's more like people are really used to texting.
If your email is more than 3 sentences long, it's not getting read.
Except that, again, and maybe this is something that you guys can pass along to your new people. Because of the rules that we have on us as far as communication and open records laws, we can't take our personal phones and start having, and first of all, that also gets into some of the boundaries that we
Yeah.
are, and ethics laws that for us, but also to protect the youth.
Right.
We can't do that. So they have to start paying attention to their email and
Yeah, I
Maybe
check
that's
my-
something
I check my
Camille should really reiterate that we can text, but not, it's like, I won't be here, or I'm running late, but nothing huge like that, because
we can't.
what they text us can be open records also, and email too,
Yeah.
Correct.
so.
They need to be aware of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make that clear this year. I will say last year, during the mentor mentee training, I emphasized like you guys should reply, like, especially because Supervisor Brown emailed an invitation to a parade. So I was like, look, even if you can't go or aren't interested, like, it's just the polite thing to do, right, is to respond. So I think that's a general skill, but also when I put response required in the title of the email, like, so, not to put anyone on blast, but someone in this room did not reply. Yeah.
I think we all knew that.
Quick, hurry up and reply.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I'm very flexible with youth. I feel like for the most part, I assume like 50% of them have read it, you know, and all the emails. But yeah, it's not consistent, and I think it's a good skill to learn and emphasize, but yeah, I only see so many of them, like at orientation, mentor, mentee training. But yeah, like if they're not showing up to the extension programming, it's hard for me to reinforce that.
Well, and it's one of those things that, if we didn't have people who had applied and not gotten in, you know, I might be a little more flexible, but we have people who applied and did not get accepted into this program. So as far as I'm concerned, you know, I don't want to say patience, but my expectation is that you want to be part of this program. That means you're going to be active and part of this program. If you don't have the time, because we all know that kids are completely overprogrammed and don't have enough time. So the expectations for getting into universities and things, it's insane at this point. That's great, but this program is not just something that you can put on your resume and put on your college applications and then not show up. You know, it's gotta be a give and take here.
All right, and then Garner Williams is a no. Yeah, thank you.
So just to clarify, John is good.
Last names, please.
Clanky, John Clanky is good. Jacob Weidman is also good if he goes on Monday. And now we're at Garner Williams.
She's a no.
He's a no.
I can't work with 30%.
And
And
No board meeting.
Who notifies this person?
I would, yeah. I will do that tomorrow.
Have you? What was that?
Who's a public works been there?
I don't know.
It's I think Supervisor Grady.
Okay. Are these kids, most or all of them aside from, Lens? Yeah, Lens coming to Tuesday's meeting, if they're getting your certificate? Do you know, have you asked them or?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've asked them. So far 8 youth have responded. So yeah, I will follow up with the other four now.
14.
Yeah, now we're going to 13. Because we dropped 2 off
Oh,
and
that's right.
then, no, another one. All right. Do you have anything else that's matters?
That's it.
Thank you.
Yeah, not sure if you guys saw my email. There's a reception at 6:45 PM. Would love to have you guys there. Or we can.
No.
Yes.
Everybody on this committee, with the exception of Frederick and me, are mentors now, so. And the only other ones is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Daniel. And he's got 2.
Right.
Oh,
Because he's got joint services.
yeah.
He and Monica are the only.
Right, exactly, yeah, so,
Well, thank you in advance for
serving as well, we can't screw it up, right? There's no way.
Well, if we screw it up, we're gonna be called out at
Exactly,
so.
yeah, so we're all good.
Am I a mentor now?
No, 2 committees are not. Aren't you?
Did you send an email?
Did you send it?
You did, you would be for judiciary and law.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. good.
She sent it a while ago.
Because I just responded and said, hey, when you were looking for him, I'd consider it again, but I don't remember getting an email.
It came from Guida.
Yeah,
Maybe I didn't get to it yet.
We actually.
Those darn kids.
You're on the right track there, you're.
Rita, is it possible that, I mean, and I don't know whether it's Guido or Camille, but
Being a mentor.
this
That must be.
needs to be done like monthly, so that we know who showed up, so that we
Okay.
can, I mean, it's not,
Perfect, yeah.
it's,
Sorry.
as we finish a meeting, I don't know whether it comes from the mentors, and we all communicate to somebody, or if it's that it comes from Amanda and communicates, but like, there should be kind of an updated, we should be seeing what's happening with these people.
In this committee you're talking about?
Both in this committee and or the mentors should be told, but the mentor, I mean,
The mentors relate, the communication should be coming strictly from the students, so that the mentor's the first person who knows when they're slipping.
Right, but what I'm saying is, yeah, but I'm saying to have something like this,
Someone created Google Doc
Google Doc, well,
Or
a legal.
spreadsheet.
Yeah.
that can be shared with us.
Right, there needs to be something that just is,
I want a spreadsheet.
can we pivot tables? We like the pivot tables.
I invented it.
So-
And Lotus 1, 2, 3, before business help.
Fortran, do you remember
I
Fortran?
did that already.
All you younger members, look up that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Camille and I will discuss a spreadsheet
Okay.
in Google Docs.
Well, I don't know if we can do Google Docs. We'll need to check with ethics about that, check
Well,
legal.
Camille, you can go to every one of the committee meetings and look and see. You don't have to wait for a student to respond to you. If they're not responding, and then you have to do it a different way, right? So all those are open to for you to observe, and you can keep track all on your own and
You can even just
avoid all this.
TV.
Just look at the minutes.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is look at the minutes.
Okay. Any questions on the extension education reports? Anything you need to share with us?
No, I think everything's covered in the report. I will be try that sentence again. Oh my goodness. I will be with you in spirit on Tuesday. I am co-facilitating foundations in extension education for new extension educators. So I'm in Madison for 2 days.
Oh,
It's our version of onboarding, but we don't call it. But for people to understand what that is,
Your version of on.
it's our version and it's extension. It's been through.
What kind of cake did you get, Camille?
Two, from Costco, a vanilla and chocolate.
So she doesn't know how big of a cake to get, because she doesn't know how to.
They get their.
Prize by
more mentors for that.
Okay.
Our meeting's mandatory, so.
Yeah. All right, approval of minute.
From April 9th.
So moved.
Second.
Any
They look good.
discussion?
That looked good to me too.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? No. Any citizens wishing to speak? Any citizens wishing to speak? Citizens wishing to speak. Okay, I have no comments. Staff?
The only one I guess I'd like to make is in June, we do have, which would be not familiar with the committee, we have to adopt a change to the floodplain because there was new floodplain panels provided by FEMA that's related to the South Branch Pike River.
Oh,
So all that work that was done, and you saw those floodplains, and I mentioned that at the committee of the whole on how that was changing, that floodplain becomes effective July 25th. So this committee has to adopt that. You'll see that, and but that was,
3 items for one applicant.
yeah, so it's pretty slim.
Okay. And UW extension, Scott.
Yeah, it's, I'll be there. Yeah.
Any motion to adjourn?
second.
Sure. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? All right, well done.
Thanks for being so.
Supervisor Zachary.